There's been a lot of talk lately about the subprime mortgage market. This next story is about one woman who believes she was cheated at a subprime auto dealer. And just like with mortgages, her experience could affect the rest of us. Chicago Tonight producer Jay Shefsky has this report. It's a story that starts close to home.
Security.
Arlene Jones has been a security guard at Channel 11 for about 9 years. One day last year, she came to work and proudly showed off her new car, a 1996 Chrysler Sierra. She bought it from Quick Auto in South suburban Chicago Heights for $8,000. After years of buying junk cars off the street, this was like a dream.
I never had a car like that before. Started driving down the street, and I'm like, wow, it's like a brand new car off the showroom floor, you know?
But 10 months later, Arlene was in an accident. While she wasn't badly hurt, her dream car was totaled. And to make matters worse, her insurance company told her the car was only worth $1,100.
I'm like, what? I still owe $6,000, $7,000 on this car. What are you talking about?
When Arlene told me that, it sounded like her insurance company might be cheating her. So I went to see what her car was really worth. It turns out that her insurance company wasn't that far off. What was off was how much she paid. When Arlene bought her $8,000 car, it was worth at most about $3,200.
I feel very stupid. I should have known or talked to somebody who knew about it before I just jumped into it.
I couldn't believe that that was all there was to the story, that Arlene should have done her homework. So I did some checking. I found out that selling cars far above their book value is pretty common at some car lots, especially places called buy here, pay here dealers like Quick Auto. The dealers say the markup is fair because they're in a high-risk market, selling to people with poor credit histories. When it comes to borrowing money for a car, there's what's called prime financing for people with good credit and subprime for buyers with rockier credit scores. In subprime, there's more risk for the lender and higher interest rates for the borrower. Buy here, pay here dealers are a part of the subprime market. According to the industry, they serve the people with the worst credit. What's different about buy here, pay here dealers like Quick Auto is that they lend you the money themselves. And that, I found out, made it easier to sell Arlene a $3,000 car for $8,000. Because an outside lender probably wouldn't have loaned her that much for that car. If someone came to you and wanted to borrow $7,000 for a car that you saw was only worth $3,000, would you give them the loan?
Not for that amount, no, we would not.
Jerry Haley is the president of the USA-1 National Credit Union in South suburban Madison, just 10 minutes from Quick Auto.
Basically, we're the buyer of that car too when we have the loan out there. I mean, we have as much on the line as the borrower does, if there's a default, obviously. So we have to make a good business decision, but fortunately that good business decision that we make is the right decision for the member as well. That really protects them in that situation.
Without that protection, here's where Arlene stands. She still has $6,000 of debt, so she can't afford to buy another car. Her 30-mile commute takes about 2.5 hours on public transportation. So most days, her husband drives her to her 2 a.m. shift and then sleeps in the parking lot till she gets off at 10. She told me that Quick Auto did offer to help by selling her another car and putting it on her tab. But she turned that offer down. Quick Auto is a chain of 19 dealers in Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. The parent company is called Heritage. They're based in Elkhart, Indiana, and also sell mobile home parks. The company turned down several requests for interviews. But looking at their website, it seems clear that they take pride in making loans no one else will. It's a way to help people with bad credit.
They're not helping them out, they're putting them deeper in the hole.
Dwayne Overholt is a consumer advocate specializing in automobile fraud.
You want to help these people, then give them a fair price at a fair interest rate
Overholt says it's easy for him to recognize deceptive practices. He sold cars for 25 years and says he was an expert at cheating his customers.
Over the years, I've ripped off consumers of approximately, I'd say, about anywhere between $2 to $3 million.
I brought Dwayne Overholt and consumer fraud attorney Dave Ladwig to talk with Arlene and her husband and help us understand her case. Arlene told them that when she first got to the Quick Auto lot, she told the salesman she had an upper limit on price.
I told him, I said, I can't afford no car over $3,000.
She says he was very reassuring.
Like, don't worry about it. He said, you can handle it.
The consumer typically is at a disadvantage. The consumer comes in, the dealer's been in business for a lot of years, they know how to push the right buttons, and they can get you to sign a document that you may not totally understand or that they may, in some cases, mislead you on.
Okay, well, he's got sales tax down here on top of that, title fees. That gets it all the way up to $8,772.
And I'm like, oh, wow, they're going to take me forever to pay that off, you know. So he started talking about how fast it could get paid off and, you know, or if I don't like it in 6 months, I could come trade it in for another car.
This service contract you got.
And Arlene told them about other surprises, like a $775 service contract.
I didn't even know that we were being charged for that.
And a change in the down payment.
But once we brought the $400, he said that he had got another phone call saying that we needed another $500.
And what sounds like a bait and switch on monthly payments.
Because on the sign they say less than $200 a month, but we couldn't get that, I guess, because my credit. So he said your payment got to be $160 every 2 weeks.
In other words, the salesman convinced Arlene that her credit was so bad that she didn't even qualify for that standard advertised deal. In the end, Arlene borrowed $8,600 at 24.9% interest over 3 years. If she had paid off the loan, she would have spent more than $13,000 on a car that was only worth about $3,000. But many buyers don't pay off the loans. Buy Here, Pay Here industry estimates put the default rate at about 30%.
There will be a high percentage of defaults in that situation, and they make the business decision that you price things accordingly to still be profitable after the defaults that you would have. And I've got to be careful because that's a natural part of the lending industry. But like anything, taken to an extreme, it can become abusive, and I think I would use that word in this situation.
People always say I put my trust in people too quickly.
As she talked about her experience, Arlene kept saying that it was all her fault.
And I should have went over it. I didn't do that. I trusted him.
How many people, if it happened to you, how many other people has it happened to? You cannot underestimate these car dealers.
There's no question that this dealer should have never put you in that car for that price because the car wasn't worth it.